The whole idea of flying on instruments can be pretty scary. After all, you can't even see outside. But just like when you fly VFR, most of the time you'll be keeping the airplane under control by controlling its attitude. Now, as you already know, the attitude indicator gives you a good overall view of the airplane's attitude, whether the nose is pitched up or pitched down, whether you're in a bank to the right or to the left. In fact, using the attitude indicator is so much like flying by visual reference that it even has the same vulnerability, lack of precision. For instance, if you flew along straight and level by visual reference and never glanced inside the cockpit, you could have a climb rate of, say, 50 feet a minute and never even know it. After 20 minutes, you'd find yourself 1,000 feet higher than you intended. Now, that doesn't happen, of course, because you do look inside the cockpit now and then and check the altimeter and the vertical speed indicator. The same holds true for using the attitude indicator to fly by reference to instruments. Because the attitude indicator does not tell you whether you're actually climbing, turning, or descending, you need to look at the rest of the flight instruments to get precise results. So use the attitude indicator for the big picture, and also whenever you're transitioning into or out of turns, climbs, or descents. Then use the other flight instruments to check up on whether the airplane's doing what you want it to do. And here's a tip that will make it all much easier. Be sure to keep the airplane in trim. That way it'll pretty much stay where you put it, and you'll have a lot less work to do. Now it's time to put on the view limiting device. Have your instructor hold the controls for you while you do it. In my case, I'll have my safety pilot, Cal, hold the controls. Cal, would you take the controls?
I've got the controls.
I have the controls.
Your plane.
Now be sure that all the outside reference is blocked. A little peek may seem like a helpful thing, but actually it can be quite disorienting. While you have the goggles or hood on like this, your instructor will be acting as your safety pilot. The purpose of a safety pilot is to watch very carefully for other traffic, especially when you're ready to start a turn. Whenever you put on a view-limiting device to practice your instrument skills, make sure that you have a qualified safety pilot in the other seat, like Cal is acting for me. Now, let's start out with straight and level flight at a normal cruise speed of 110 knots. We're already trimmed for